was prepared. After that, I made quick work of the pups and took on the
I
Iceman.
made my coolers go into overdrive mode.
And I made easy work of the mountain. And with that, I
whether or not that'll help,
Saltbaker, more like...
we'll see.
Why did I write... I wrote Saltbaker, more like
You know, I could have kept the game on actually, so that my pets grew.
I've become sort of an omnipotent.
Can I actually call them pets? I'm gonna murder them later.
Some people think that I'm perfect and can do no wrong. I can sometimes make mistakes, and on aisle 2, I'm especially prone. Oh my god. But besides that one boss, none of these jokesters even came close to killing me. And neither did the Raven Nuts. Not to forget the mausoleum. Am I more than you bargained for yet? I've been dying to tell you anything you wanna hear. Cause that's just who I am this week. Lie in the grass next to the mausoleum. That's gonna be sick in the video.
What the fuck was that?
Aisle 3 wasn't overly eventful. Left me with just 2 bosses. The first of which being King Dice, where I started off by making a classic blunder.
You can't just suddenly burst into song with that kind of voice, like you're some kind of Disney character.
Final boss left, I cracked my knuckles, scratched my back, clenched my butthole, and stepped into the dojo.
Alright. I'm too scared to go mining for diamonds. Oh no, I did successfully breed.
The very final thing on the menu
don't fuck the child.
Which is super scary because it makes every fight start.
You know, I just realized the inbreeding rates on these places are terrible.
Yes! The music is all I need! Yes!
I mean, the rate at which they grow up is also kind of absurd, but that's besides that's semantics.
If you made it this far into the video, let me know by subscribing or something.
Alright, the cold biomes are over here in the south. So I believe I will... Actually, it's more in the east, so... Ooh, surface dripstone cave. There's a stony shore. Of course, I'm gonna bring my friend. Friend? I kinda wish I placed this a little higher so I could place down torches in the bottom. Technically nothing can spawn there, but I hate darkness. I do not fear darkness, but the things that spawn in darkness in Minecraft, they scare me. But soon enough, it will be me that they are scared of. The darkness will no longer be something I fear. No, instead, it will become a hiding place. A hiding place of those who want to avoid my wrath, for they fear me. But the darkness can't keep them hidden forever. Hello there. Ray murder. Reimu murder. Reimu murder. Yeah, that checks out. Reimu does indeed like to murder. Living off of carrots actually kinda suck. NGL, NGL. Come on, horsey. Ugh. Get in. Get in. Get in. Get in. Alright, well, I can push you. That's a spider with invisibility.
Every once in a while, I see people complain about yo-yo healing. Yo-yo healing is basically bringing someone up from 0 HP with just a little bit of healing. This results in them quickly going down, and then bringing them back up again, like a yo-yo. As a counter to that, it's sometimes suggested to give people a level of exhaustion when going unconscious. This is a bad band-aid fix that I don't recommend at all. Welcome to Back Tactics, where being a healer is suboptimal. So how does reaching 0 HP normally work? Well, let's go to page 197 in the player's handbook. When you drop to 0 HP,
Those
you
are
either
spider
die
ants,
outright
apparently.
or fall unconscious, as explained in the following sections. Instant death. Massive damage can kill you instantly. When the damage reduces you to 0 HP and there is damage remaining, you die if the remaining damage equals or exceeds your HP maximum.
Come on.
For example, a cleric with a maximum of 12 HP currently has 6 HP.
Stop running
If
away
she
so much from
takes
me.
18 damage from an attack, she is reduced to 0 HP, but 12 damage remains. Because the remaining damage equals her hit points maximum, the cleric
Fuck.
dies. Falling unconscious. If damage reduces you to 0 HP and fails to kill you, you fall unconscious. This unconsciousness ends if you regain any hit points. So usually beyond the first few levels, instant death is not that common. A lot of monsters' damage mostly scales with their number of attacks, which ensures more death saving throws are failed, rather than instant death. Instant death is rarer. This, of course, means that players are likely going to be brought to unconsciousness instead when reaching 0 HP. To bring your friends back into play and make sure they don't die due to death saving throws, you should heal your allies when you can, as that instantly brings them back up. As I explained in my healing video, there's usually not a good reason to heal someone except for when they reach 0 HP. The reason why is because healing features and spells are almost always weaker than monsters' damage outputs. If we follow this strategy, that will lead to yo-yo healing. This is something a lot of people don't like about 5e. It's a system flaw. Like, I totally get it. It looks super dumb going up and down and up and down. And that's where people come up with the idea of giving exhaustion when you go down. This does add more threat to going down to 0 HP, and one that remains until you somehow remove the levels, which is usually after combat or even after long rest. Now the question is, does this fix anything? I already answered no, and I'll tell you why right now. There's multiple reasons actually. This increases the gap between strong builds and weaker builds. Damage done per damage taken is the most important metric we have. This is something I've touched on in my spiritual weapon is bad video. If you have great defense, your character survives for longer, which is obviously the goal. However, the speed at which players die increases with this exhaustion rule, as it makes reaching 0 hit points more lethal. This hurts people with bad defenses, aka the marshals who got their hands full, and don't have defensive spells to reduce damage. Armored casters with shield.
Hey, that looks like the yokai from Touhou 17.5.
Have an easier time staying above 0 HP.
I forgot her
These
name.
classes or builds are obviously not hurt equally. Here is something else that I believe is not often considered. Here are 5e's exhaustion levels. Level 1 is not too bad, but of course it hurts. However, if you go down the second time, your speed is halved. This leads to enemies being able to keep up with you, or you being unable to get out of AoEs. You're going to go down quicker. Keep in mind, speed is a defense. That was just a few examples I could think of on top of my head. And then next you get disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, which makes it harder for you to finish off enemies. If all you can do is attack rolls like a marshal, you're useless. The only thing I can think of at that point is just take the dodge action. At least the spellcasters can force saving throws. Speaking of saving throws, you also have disadvantage on saving throws, which again makes it really easy for you to go down again. And this just keeps going for all the levels. This is not fun, especially if you're the quote-unquote tank. The thing is, going down is already something players try to avoid because, you know, going unconscious and dying is bad. There doesn't actually need to be more incentive to not go down. If you think characters survive too often when going down, you can easily make enemies focus fire them. It's really not that complex. When they hit 0 HP, just keep whacking them. You probably have multi-attack. All this rule does is make going down more lethal in the hopes of people casting more healing spells for that time. And you know what? That actually doesn't happen because healing spells still cannot keep up with enemy damage. That doesn't change. Therefore, the best strategy remains yo-yoing. You didn't solve anything. What you should do is consider looking at healing spells instead. 1D&D is buffing them, and I consider that a good thing. Maybe you can do it too. And if it isn't the power of healing you worry about, rather that players are never scared of their characters dying, you need to apply more focused fire. You don't have to do it all the time, but enough for them to worry about it. Smart enemies focus fire. Dumb enemies don't. If you want me to cover more common homebrew rules, let me know in the comments. End the video. If you liked this video, I hope I earned your subscription and maybe even your support on Patreon. Thank you very much for watching and have a nice week, everyone. Play lots of D&D.
Can I carry you?
Bye-bye!
I sure can. Alright, I know how I can cross I know how I can cross these gaps now. Easy. It makes no goddamn sense, but I'm so happy that it exists. There's no iron here, but you know, I'm gonna go get the coal. Oh my god. No, 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 not in that direction. What are those? An ore unique to this bite? What are you doing? Where's the signpost I saw? I wanted. I could have sworn. Ah. Ah, but I already know these structures. I've been in them. I guess timber doesn't work on those. Whoa. At the very least, I'm finding more cows to slaughter. I'd love to make a house here. Well, leather's enough to make 3 backpacks again. Oh, look at this nice pond. Treacherous. Alright, so it looks like timber doesn't work for the new logs. Only the vanilla logs. That's understandable. But it does kinda suck. At the very least, oak remains nice and farmable. They're year round. There's more of that. It's easier to get spotted now this time too, so maybe I'll try and snag some. Oh, I need iron for them. It's zinc. Iron and zinc go hand in hand.
Grappling is used sparingly in most D&D campaigns, but today we're exploring the unhinged extremes of a grapple-only build, and the nightmare it can create for standalone bosses. For those who aren't familiar, grappling is the use of an attack to try to wrestle an enemy and hold them in place. It requires an athletics check from a grappler, and an opposed athletics or acrobatics check from the one being grappled. And as simple as this is, its consequences can be extreme in certain applications. So we have prepared yet another series of DM public service videos to illustrate just that. Let's begin with the ground player may lay in preparing for this build, enabling strategies like the nuclear lockdown and what we're calling the Mount Doom approach. Let's begin. Okay, for this one shot, we're going to start at level 6. So what do you guys have in mind for your characters? I'll be a gnome bard. Gnome bard? Got it. I will try a high elf cleric. High elf cleric? I'll do a dwarven wizard. Dwarven wizard. Nice. And I'll do a half-orc fighter. Half-orc fighter with 1 level in rogue. Okay, multi-class. I'll take proficiency and expertise in athletics from rogue, and then I'll take the Rude Knight subclass from fighter. Okay, yeah, Rude Knight is a cool. And I'll take the grappler feat instead of an ability score increase at fighter level 4. Okay, I'm not going to ask, but I do have a feeling that this is going to be a shorter one-shot than I had anticipated. Before we show the fundamental use of a grapple-only build, you should be aware that most of the strategies that you are about to bear witness to are really only effective against single targets, at least most of the time. So while many of these strategies can cripple or in some cases even outright destroy a boss, they are far less effective against swarms or even small groups of enemies. With that in mind, let's now watch and see how this build can be used in its most basic form. And as the stone door slams shut behind you, the ground begins to shake, and emerging from the mass drain in this tomb is a flesh golem, but advanced with plates of armor fused to their rotten skin and spikes sewn into their hands. So go ahead and roll for me. A few moments later. Okay, so you're up first. Good. So I'm going to start by using my bonus action to activate my Rude Knight
Let's
ability,
just nitwit here.
Giant's Might, which gives me advantage on
And
strength.
lag.
Makes me 1 size
Is that
bigger,
a-
so I'm large now, and plus 1d6 to melee damage once per turn. Okay, so you swell in size
Weird,
and
but
strength.
okay.
So then I want to run up to the flesh golem guy, and I want to use the first of my 2 attack actions to grapple him. So he needs to make an opposed athletics check. Okay, pretty strong, so that's a 21. Okay, so I roll with advantage from Giant's Might. I get plus 9 to athletics after expertise, which I get my 1 level of rogue, making my average athletics check an advantage of 22, but that's a 25. Okay, great, so he's grappled now, but we still have 1 more attack, right? Yeah, and now that he's grappled, I have advantage on attacks against him from the grappler feat, so I attack with advantage into 22. Yeah, yes. And then because of Giant's Might, I get an extra 1d6, and because I have advantage, I also get sneak attack my 1 level of rogue. That's another 1d6, so total that's 1d8 plus 2d6, and he's grappled. Okay, but now I'd like to action surge and use my second action to pin the flesh golem using my grappler feat. So that's another opposed athletics check, and a failure results in him and me being restrained. Wow. Yeah, that's a 15. That's a 27 here. So now he's pinned,
Jesus
which
Christ.
imposes the restraint condition of both him and myself. Restrained. So you both now have disadvantage on attacks, but also attacks
That's a
against
ghost.
you have advantage.
What
That's
the
correct.
hell
But
is
since we're
this?
both restrained, the advantage
This
is
isn't
disadvantage
a
cancel out
freaking-
when we attack each other. But if I have an ally within 5 feet of him, like our cleric here, I still get my sneak attack bonus 1 per turn, plus the extra
The
1d6
whatchamacallit,
from Giant's Might, which is
obviously,
also
because
1 per
those
turn,
only
right?
spawn in the
Okay.
really low.
That's great. This is gonna be fun. Yes, indeed. As you can see, the basic use of the grappler build prevents the target from moving, while also making it more vulnerable to attacks from the entire party by subjecting it to the
restrained condition. Look what happens when you combine this basic strategy with certain spells and class abilities from other party members. Well, you get something that we call the nuclear lockdown. Let's see. As the rain pours down around you, gaze up at this monstrosity of bone and bark, whose steps shake the very ground beneath your feet. This is a gargantuan creature, so he's too big to grapple, unfortunately. And as he lumbers toward you, you can tell that he intends to destroy you all. I'll say that you have 1 round to prepare before he's upon you. Actually, we do have a plan for this. Yeah, so a few minutes ago, I gave him Bardic Inspiration die that's still active, so now I want to cast Bestow Curse on the monster. Okay, that's a Wisdom save, which he fails. Great, so now he has disadvantage on all strength checks and has to make a Wisdom saving throw each turn or just do nothing. Yeah, okay. Next is you. Yeah, I would like to use my bonus action to use Giant's Might. Same stuff as before. Alright, I'm large, get advantage on strength checks, etc., etc. And that's it for now. Okay. And you? I want to cast Enlarge on our fighter so that he's 1 size larger now, so that should mean that he's huge, I think. Oh no. Yeah, that does make me huge now, which is just 1 size smaller than Gargantuan. And the rules of grapple do state that I can grapple a creature that's up to 1 size larger than me. I see. And Gargantuan is 1 size larger than huge, which I am now, which means that I can, by the rules, grapple that thing. And let me guess, you've got something to do with this as well. I'm just going to cast guidance on him, that's all. Okay, well, the monster is upon you now, but he rolled low in initiative, so you get to all take your turns first. I'm just going to hold my action to attack once he's been grappled. Okay, and now it's your turn. Yeah, so I'm going to run up to this guy, and I'm going to use my first attack to grapple him. Okay, so his strength is high, so he'll do athletics, but that's a disadvantage from the Bestow Curse. But hey, that's still a 27 on his opposed athletics check. Great, well, I roll with advantage from Giant's Might. Then I add my Bardic Inspiration of 1d8. I get my Guidance of 1d4, and that's plus 9 to athletics by default, so I get a 32, which is actually the average outcome for that situation, but it's still not too bad. So you just grappled a gargantuan monstrosity. That's correct. And then you're going to restrain him so that everyone has advantage. That's also correct, and he does have to use his action to try to escape. But also, if he fails his Bestow Curse Wisdom save, he could just waste an entire turn anyway. Now you're getting it. Oh, and whenever I'm not having to re-grapple or re-restrain him, I will be attacking with a damage bonus from the Enlarge spell, and once per turn, an extra 2d6 from Giant's Might and Sneak Attack combined, assuming an ally is within 5 feet.
That's an Ocean Monument.
Eventually.
He's now very hurt, but so are you. So he uses his action to attack you, and oh, that's a crit. So he deals
Ooh, that looks promising.
36 damage to you, which I assume means you're down. Ooh, actually, I'm sorry. If you do recall, I do have Relentless Endurance from being a half-orc, so I dropped the 1 HP instead. Enough to get us through another round with advantage. You know, as annoying as this is, I can't help but be proud. Note that there are other ways for bosses or more powerful enemies to break free of restrained or grappled conditions. For example, spells like Freedom of Movement or abilities like Teleportation. While the nuclear lockdown strategy is extremely effective against massive enemies, there is a way to modify this approach that allows you in certain environmental situations to outright eliminate an enemy that is medium or smaller. Be aware that this approach is highly circumstantial and should not be relied on. Instead, this should help illustrate the flexibility and multiple applications that a grapple-only build can provide. Which means it's now time to look at the Mount Doom approach. First, a brief word from our sponsor. Surprise, the sponsor is me. I send out an email digest every Saturday morning called the Arcane Almanac. It's full of short, fun activities and tidbits designed for nerds like you. We have Dice of the Week, unique NPCs, miniature choose-your-own-adventures that read riddles, recipes, and more being added all the time. It is completely free to join with just your email using the link in the description below. And while you're there, remember to like the video if you're enjoying it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more stuff like it. Anyway, on to Mount Doom. So you stand on top of the floating platform held aloft above the volcano by ancient eldritch enchantments, and you stand face to face with the man responsible for so much destruction. The Lord Commander of the Undead Guard, Necron Deadman. Okay, so I'm going to save you, and I'm going to save you some time here, and we're just going to say that we're setting this up the same way we did with that gargantuan guy. It's true. Yeah, that's the plan. So now I'm huge from enlarge and giant's might, making me twice as big as the Brony dead guy. He's got disadvantage on strength checks, I have advantage, etc., bardic inspiration, guidance, yada yada. Okay. Okay, but let me ask you this. How far away is the edge of this floating platform that we're on? Probably like 60 feet. It's pretty big. And there's lava below, like a whole volcano's worth? Yes. Okay, then once I have him grappled, instead of using the next action to pin him, I'm going to instead take the dash action and carry him over to the edge of the platform. Oh, God. Okay, so you can do that without speed penalty, since he's 2 sizes smaller than you? Because he's medium and you're large. That's correct. And then once I arrive at the edge of the platform, I want to action surge to throw him off the side of the platform with his shove attack to push him 5 feet away from me, dropping my grapple for free as I do so. He rolled a 25. That beats mine. Great. Finally. So I use my extra attack to shove again, since the shove action only replaces one of my attacks. And that's a nat 20. Okay, so he goes 5 feet over the edge and tumbles into the volcano, and yeah, he's a goner. Good job, team. Yeah. A grapple-only build can afford extreme advantages in certain situations, and when coupled with other class abilities and spells, can allow a party to restrain a massive creature or move a medium or smaller one with very little trouble. But as I said before, this approach is most effective against single enemies, and the more extreme examples are very circumstantial. But as always, creative uses tend to yield the best results. How have you used grapple creatively in the past? Or what creative combinations have you seen other people use grapple for in games of Dungeons & Dragons? Feel free to share your own stories in the comments below. And we will see you next time on future DM public service announcements.
What's that? Oh,
Sun is blue, moon is red. This is the best of love. I have broken Turn on fire, so glorified. Dark of night.
beloved. Things kind of everywhere, huh? Yeah, this place is rife in resources. Most lovely. Deep slate? There really is just deep slate around here. What the heck? Doesn't seem to lead to anywhere, so. If anything, it's mostly a burden for deep slate to be able to show up here. Marcy sure gets around fast. How did you get here? Ready. I'm all mad. Llama. Your compost is ripe. I'll leave this guy to his devices. Well, very cool. That is shipwreck. Flying fish. think I'm ready to go home. Only what I need way more is diamond. I think I'm just gonna pick myself the safest possible branch mine I possibly can. I don't really see any other option with all these terrible mobs running rampant. Thanks to my awful decisions. This was a fun exploration journey at least. I still need to get home. Let's hope the way back is uneventful and safe. Going back is way faster. I guess that makes enough sense.
Folks, what is up and welcome to a very special episode of Ace Attorney with an Actual Lawyer. I'm Zach, joined by our voice actor Wes.
Hi.
And our actual lawyer, Rich.
Hello.
By special stream today, this is the very first case of the entire series, re-edited, retranslated over and over again by a member of the community, member Fluffy. Huge shout outs to that. This is very silly. I'm excited to get into this. Let's not keep the rigmarole wrong. Rigmarole long. Why don't we just get into it?
Sky. Why me? I cannot understand it. That's it. He had to find someone to fix him.
I know this is supposed to be his dialogue, but it makes me think that saying Frank saw it, needed to find someone to fix him.
Frank Saw's a bit of a fixer-upper.
People. There are people like him. Say it.
There are people like
There
him.
are people like him.
What are you? Say it.
Very good Twilight reference.
What?
August 3rd at 9:47, be direct. He was accused. To place of residence. Oh, son, I'm scared.
I don't know if Phoenix Wright had a son at this
Listen,
point.
yeah, we just met Phoenix Wright's canonical
Scared.
adoptive daughter, but apparently he has a son as well.
Good.
Hello, boss.
Oh, I'm glad you made it in time. Well, should I say Phoenix? Well, not everyone's killing. I'm not like other guys. I see the
line out of
point in
context.
killing.
Well, not everyone sees the point in killing. Some people see the point in killing. Not everyone, though.
This is very important for you and your customers.
Thank you very much. Because I owe you.
Today is love.
No, it's Thursday, not Tuesday.
What the chat GPT is going on here? Did you meet the broker before the deal? What kind of deal are you doing, Phoenix?
No. My current job is dead. Wow.
Relatable.
Phoenix.
What a relatable character.
Oh.
Wow, yeah, they made Phoenix 100 times more relatable.
That's why I became a lawyer.
I mean, that is one reason to do it, I guess. Yes, this is new to me.
Aren't you my boss? I want you as much as I can. What? This Phoenix is
Again,
screwed.
relatable, Phoenix.
This is what this now he's relatable.
His job is dead, and he wants me in.
That is the most relatable character in fictional history.
I want to help. I will give you a lot.
It's over.
All right, guys, that's the end of the stream. It's over.
That's it. We did it.
My life, it's over. Are your customers crying?
It's true.
Dad! 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 As if you were going to die.
Yes. Why?
What the fuck? That's a good idea.
Hello, I'm glad they got the name dead on though.
Larry translates into Larry in all languages.
This man is my fault. Let's call it my fault. Hold the stick until death. I am not afraid of death.
What is this? What happened?
Oh, that's it. That's it. Doing it. I can't live without him in this world. No chance. What do I have, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you have to tell me who took my child.
They took my kids, Nick.
God.
What?
Dickens.
I have a very particular set of skills.
Who's responsible for your friend's death? The book explains. That explains everything.
That explains
everything.
Wow, okay, that's pretty much the same sentence, I think.
I was expecting some of the names to get all fucked.
Yeah. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. First case is simple.
my life
Got flipped turned upside down.
My case got translated upside down. A girl was found dead in her house. Which lips are defined?
I don't know which lips.
Larry Booth, my high school friend.
Okay.
There's a saying in our school: when things smell, they often smell.
Yeah.
I don't know why that one's really simple, but it gets me pretty good.
I mean, when you're right, you're right.
I have known you for 23 years and counting. Problem-solving skills. End of sentence. All I can say is that it's usually not their fault. He was just unlucky. I know you are a good person.
Ooh, wrong about that one.
I respect him like that, so I'm closing this thread for the sake of clarity. Me and... End of sentence. August 3 at 10 o'clock. Consequence. Court number 2.
Very batch court. The prosecutor is ready, sire.
That's good.
That's enjoyable.
Yes, pay fealty to your lord.
Security is ready, sir. No, you're a lawyer.
Nobody better interrupt my birthday. About what? This is your first submission.
Yes, sir. I was a bit frustrated.
Your attitude during the trial will determine your next client.